you will not only be embarrassing yourself, you'll be subjecting your entire race to shame. Hi everyone, welcome to Akomolafe family channel. This is Bumi Akomolafe. So I have something interesting actually to discuss this morning. Firstly, I just want to say thank you to everybody for your reactions. Comments that I got under the previous video where I reacted on the university girl who had this incident with the lecturer. I said that there's been a lot of conversations going on there. Even I'm just watching at this point. But that kind of reassures me that we still have values in Nigeria. I just want to thank everybody for your contributions. I just want to please implore you not to argue with each other. I can say there's a lot of booze happening between yourselves there. But you all just be the bigger person. If somebody says something that is not, just pretend like you didn't see it, instead of just wasting your energy and arguing with somebody. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but at the end of the day, we want our children to do well. Anyway, so today's topic is about video that I saw online. It just involves people who are going to take life in the UK test on behalf of other people. Allegedly, now I'll still use the word allegedly, but the videos are there online.
Second woman has now been arrested for supposedly using different wigs so that she could sit the British citizenship test for other people. LBC joined immigration enforcement officers in Kent as they knocked down the door of the 42-year-old Nigerian
who have been changing wigs to write life in the UK test for other people. You know, I understand the frustration, I understand the desperation, I understand the hardship in Nigeria, I understand all that. I understand that people want to come abroad, I understand all that. But people need to have at the back of their mind that when you are coming abroad, you have to be prepared to face the challenges that come with living abroad. You have to be prepared to face the challenges that come with living abroad. If you are not used to a kind of certain lifestyle, you have to be prepared to change that lifestyle. What do I mean by a certain lifestyle? If you are somebody who you are not law abiding, things you think you would normally get away with in Nigeria, which is unfortunate that I'm saying that. Certain things that you feel like if I do in Nigeria, I get away with it. Those things, if you bring them here, you will not only be embarrassing yourself, you'll be subjecting your entire race to shame. And it's really sad, you know. I'm not here to condemn anybody this morning. I know everybody's circumstance is different. But there is no excuse for crime. Particularly at a time where all these abroad countries are hot right now. If you are an immigrant and you have not settled, you understand what I'm saying. With all the immigration laws and all the things they are changing things here and there to make sure that they control immigration. Because people are complaining. You need to see what's going on online. Even me, that I didn't used to pay attention to all those online things before. But now, I am having to follow the news to pay attention to what's happening online for the safety of myself and my family. You know, I'm glad that I'm already having the mindset to go to Nigeria. I'm glad that we are practically on our way to Nigeria. People need to be especially careful now at this time. They are looking for an excuse to make it impossible for people to actually get those documents, and we are giving them those excuses. That's exactly what we are doing. We are giving them those reasons why they should toughen the laws. All they ask for you is to be law-abiding. All they ask is for you to integrate. All they ask is for you to stay crime-free, obey the law, contribute to the economy. These are things that you'll be expected to do when you come to a place like this. These are things that you'll be expected to do. There is no fast approach. There's no fast way of cutting corners or making money. You might do first one, second one. They will always catch up with you. They will always catch up with you. So this story now says recent incidents involving individuals fraudulently taking the life in the UK test on behalf of others have significant implications for immigrants and the integrity of the UK's immigration system. So this one was one of the news outlets. I think it was BBC or so. So recent arrests and allegations. In early 2025, a 61-year-old woman was arrested in London for allegedly using various disguises. A 61-year-old woman, for crying out loud. How shameful. Including wigs to impersonate at least 14 applicants completing the Life in the UK test on their behalf. She reportedly visited multiple test centers across the UK, altering identification documents to evade detection. Similarly, a 42-year-old woman was arrested in Dartford, Kent, accused of taking the test for 12 individuals using similar deceptive methods. These actions aimed to provide applicants with unfair advantage in obtaining indefinite leave to remain or British citizenship. So, you hear that? We are immigrants and we are handing them the reason to kick us out of the country. Immigrants from different origins. It is very unfortunate because they are tightening the immigration laws and making UK very uncomfortable. And not just UK, all these abroad countries. They are making these countries now very uncomfortable for immigrants. Yet we are handing them the opportunity for them to continue to do that. For them to see things to point at. The bad thing is that when one race is doing something, every other race suffers it. Every other immigrant suffers it. It's not just going to be that person and their race. When you engage in such activity, aside from the fact that you will become a criminal, you face criminal prosecution, leading to potential imprisonment and even deportation. You are doing that. If you go to prison and it could even lead to your deportation, then what is the impact on the wider society? Border implications. These fraudulent activities not only jeopardize the legal status of the individuals directly involved, but also have wider ramifications. So there will be stricter regulations from the Home Office. I've said that earlier. They may implement more stringent verification processes for the Life in the UK test. So, the simple way that people just go there and take the test and leave the place. They will now make it more difficult. They will make it more difficult. I remember when I took my own Life in the UK test, I studied for it. There are past questions online that you can study for, just like if you want to take your driving test. There are apps online that you can download and you can study. I studied for it. My husband studied for it. We studied for our Life in the UK test. We took the test one time and we passed it. If you study for this test, you will pass it. You don't need to go and pay somebody to do it for you. If you study for this test, you will pass it. I've never heard such a thing before in my life. So I am even surprised that people can be this confident. Those people that are doing this things, clearly they are the ones that used to cheat in examination when they were younger. Those people that they used to catch with Expo. They will bring Expo inside the examination hall. Because that kind of bad thing now, you don't follow them grow up. You see what we are saying now? That when a child is doing something bad, correct that child. That kind of behavior now, they have carried it into adulthood. To the point that the person even carried it into a grandmahood, 61-year-old, and she's still going to sit down for somebody to help them to write exam. Because at the end of the day, everybody will do what? Everybody will suffer it. So you cannot go and be sitting down for somebody's examination. If you take the test, if you study for it, you will pass. And then it delays processing. There will be increased scrutiny. So they will be scrutinizing that process now. People who should have just had that experience easy. People who are genuinely studying for it and that should have that experience easy, just go into their exam and come out. Those ones now, they will now start scrutinizing. They will make the experience more difficult for everybody else. There won't be any public trust in the immigration system again. The people who brought up this news yesterday are the people who are chanting for us to go back to our countries. That's where I saw this news story yesterday on their site. The people who are aggressively chanting for us to go back to our countries. So you give them this kind of information now, you go and do this kind of thing now, you're giving them the power to keep chanting for us to go. Are we inconveniencing them? Yes. We are giving them things to cling on to. Because if you were in Nigeria too, and a whole huge crowd of people came into our country and depriving us of our health appointments, depriving us of our housing, depriving us of our jobs, depriving us of things that even we need for ourselves, after a while, I think they will forget that we're actually contributing to the economy. After a while, they will forget that we are making a difference. We are running the NHS. We are actually contributing. Imagine if when it gets to a point where it becomes too much. It becomes too much, especially the negative things that immigrants are doing. If it gets too much, then they are bound to cry out. We will cry out if we're in our countries and this kind of things were happening. I'm sure that if people were coming into this country and they were abiding by law and they were doing everything that they need to do and they were, upstanding citizens, I'm telling you, nobody will be crying out, go back to your country. Even if there was people, even if there were people crying out, go back to your country, it won't be this much. They won't be clamping on immigration here, immigration there. The level of crime now. I was looking at the statistics yesterday. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. These statistics came up. You can imagine. Italy publishes horrific immigration crime statistics. Migrants make up 8% of the population, but commit, listen, out of 8% of their migrant population in Italy, only 8% of the migrant population in Italy, okay, but commit 28% of murders and attempted murders, 33% of assaults, 41% of rapes, and 49% of burglaries. Imagine it, just 8% of the entire population terrorizing the whole Italy like this. So what do you expect? So this is the particular time where immigrants need to be very careful. I just wanted to, bring this up this morning and just beg you guys, let us feel safe. Let our children feel safe. Some of us have labored a lot in this country. Some of us we have labored a lot. It will be a shameful thing. It's just a matter of time. It's like TikTok. Like I said to my children, it's TikTok. Because the way they are going, I just always fear that one day they will just have it to the peak. And they will just boom. Because the way people are going now, I think if you have all your stake in this in abroad countries and you have all your family here, you need to be keeping yourself updated on this news. And if you are not thinking about jackpot, those of you that have stayed in abroad long enough, it might be worth you to start looking home. Because at the end of the day, home is home. No matter how long you feel you will live abroad, they will still be reminding you that you are not one of them. They will still be reminding you that you don't belong here. I know people envy and they say, oh, you got your this, you got your British passport, you got your this, you got your that. I'm grateful for it. I've paid my dues. We worked so hard for it, my dear. It didn't just fall on our laps. So thank you so much for watching this morning. See you later, guys. Bye-bye.